My history with motorcycles starts in high school around 1981 when I bought my first form of transportation, and that was a Honda MB5 50cc motorcycle. That's how I got around skating. That's how I got to school. That's how I got to my girlfriend's house. I've been a fan of riding two wheels for my whole life. So this is a replica of a ramp that we built in 1986 for a video that Pal Peralta produced called The Search for Animal Chin. It's a one-of-a-kind pair of half cabs. The band started in 1966, so they made a size 66 of the same shoe.
I think I like the Monster one the best. I don't know, I like the graphic. There's a lot of stuff I want.
I think like one of the super interesting things in here too is just all the Evel Knievel stuff, because that's kind of like what inspired you to do radical things. Was
Pretty much.
How did that start out for you?
I was born in '64, so I was a '70s kid. In 1973-74, Evel Knievel was like the icon of the '70s. You know, he was like the first sports extreme action, and he's the one that got people to get excited about doing something extreme on a motorcycle. Famous for jumping and crashing. He crashed more than he made his jumps.
Yeah.
But what I've read is the Caesar Palace jump that he did, that he crashed, pretty much put him on the top and made him pretty worldwide famous. Years later, I got to meet him in person in 1999. Remember, before X Games, they had X Trials. So you had to those were qualifiers to get into the X Games.
Yeah.
And I wanted to qualify for street, you know, so in St. Pete, they had X Trials street contest. Matt Hopkins said, "Hey, I'm working with Evel. We're doing a bike together. You should come out and bring something from your collection." He was going to be there, and you can meet him and you can sign something. So I brought my Sports Illustrated from 1974 with him on the cover. I ended up winning that contest, and then he signed my deck too. So I have that signature picture with him and the Sports Illustrated, and that's in the collection. Over the years, I've just wanted to do this huge Evel Knievel shrine, and started looking on eBay for stuff. And actually, before eBay was even around, I was collecting Evel Knievel. Let's go check out the garage. Skate gear. This bike is a 1944 Harley Davidson Flathead 45 war bike. I never had rode a bike that had a suicide shift, you know, so it was really hard to get used to. And with a foot clutch, the clutch is right here, and then you shift. You have to take your hand off the bars and shift here. Now I'm trying to make it street legal. I got a front brake, headlight, got a generator for the battery, tail light. The new Indian, my new baby. It's an Indian Scout 2017.
Really therapeutic to get on and just go for a ride, you know, whatever you've got going on in your life. It's just really nice to get on your bike and forget everything for an hour or two and just get out in nature and go fast too. That's always nice. But with that being said, it also can be very dangerous, you know. It only takes a second for someone to just switch lanes without looking or something.
It's funny to hear a mega ramp skater talk about doing dangerous stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's all dangerous. You just have to be aware of what you're getting yourself into, you know?
Right.
If you don't respect your motorcycle, it can hurt you. But if you learn to expect what you're riding and know the capability of the power, you can do awesome things with it.
Very first experience was, I think, on a dirt bike. We were doing some skate demos somewhere, and one of the motocross dudes let me try his bike, and so I got the hang of it, but I wasn't really riding, you know, until maybe about a little over a year ago. Bob Burnquist has a motorcycle hookup. One day he's like, "Oh, you want to go?" He's got two of them, so he's like, "Want to go on a ride?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." Where he lives, there's a bunch of windy roads, so we went on a cruise, and then the next day I hit him up. I was like, "Dude, can I come over and borrow your bike and just go?" So I just kept going over there and borrowing his bike and just kept cruising around, getting more comfortable on the street. Got this urge to like buy a motorcycle. And then someone told me like, oh, you should check out this Scrambler. Like Ducati just came out with a Scrambler. I just started doing more research on them, and I saw how many things you could customize on them and just kind of make them your own. So I just fell in love with that bike, and there she is.
And you've done a few things to it. What type of things, modifications did you make to the bike?
Well, the first thing I did was the race map and the exhaust. From there, it's just been smaller things like handlebars, mirrors. And I put this like finish on the little cap there, changed out the blinkers, the fender. I took off the, there's just this kit that moves the license plate under the seat, and that's pretty much it.
Elliot talking about his bike and how he customized it, you know. Motorcycles are a work of art. I mean, if you see what they've become since 1901, when Indian first started, to what they are now, I mean, they're awesome pieces of machinery. I mean, they're works of art. So to get your own bike and start customizing, it's just another extension of our creativeness, like wanting to burst out like, yeah, this bike's cool, but I can just add my own flavor to it. I want to add these handlebars, this seat, you know, so there's a lot of interchangeable parts on a bike. It's beautiful what people can create. They're works of art. So it's another extension of us being creative beings, of like, what can we do with a motorcycle to make it even more badass? There's a lot to learn, just like skating, just like riding a motorcycle. There's a lot to learn about protecting yourself and being wise. You have to be mature. Even this day, I have to remind myself of how dangerous a bike is, and respect it and honor the people on the road, because I'm not the only one out there, you know. But when you're on the open road, it's awesome, man. You know, it's just you and your bike, like Elliot said. It's a great time to like just think about things.
In that sense though, like in a car, you're able to like pick up your phone even though you shouldn't, or change the radio station or something. When you're on your bike, you can't do any of that. You're like on your bike, you know, like, so it forces you to be a little bit more in tune with, or just like be a little bit more present in the moment, and just, I don't know. That's something that I've always struggled with, is like my mind's somewhere else, you know, and I'm like worrying about this or what happened or what's going to happen. And it's like when you're on your bike, it kind of forces you to be present in the moment, and I think that's something that's really important. And I've been trying to work on, but I notice now like a lot of people struggle with doing that, especially in this day and age when there's so many distractions, and it's like people get caught up in everyday life problems, but it's good to take a moment to step back and just kind of be present and just, you know, appreciate everything. And, yeah.
Not only can you admire the work of art, you can live on it, and you know, it's a form of transportation. It gets you from point A to point B, and you can look good doing it too.